Hi guys, it's Jennifer, a digital soldier reporting to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm here at the Sunset Park. It's a beautiful day, as you can see. I'm at the lake here. It is simply gorgeous. So anyway, I wanted to do I call them lectures, but I wanted to do a piece on targeted individuals. I just got through listening to William Binney and Catherine Horton. William Binney, of course, former NSA. He is a targeted individual. They're talking about being chipped, okay? So, and it being a conduit or way for the people to be targeted by microwave, okay, as such as those in China and Cuba were hit. But my question is, what is the statistics on the Americans and those around the world, or at least the Americans, we should have that data, of those who have not had surgery but are still chipped? Okay, because here's what I'm understanding. If you read the NASA Future 4 PDF, it talks about other technologies, which was, and one of them is sprayed in the air, which is smart dust or biological nano. Now, in cancer research, biological nano is instructed outside of the body via a keypad to go after bad cells, right? Cancer cells. So, but that which can be instructed to do that can be instructed to go to any organ or any part of the body, correct? So what we do know is that all of us have this biological nano in us, right? Because they sprayed it aerosolly. So we had to remember at that point and how it is used, and it's conducive in working in conjunction with directed energy weapons. But we'd love to see the statistics of the other. But there are two ways to get the chipping into the body. One is surgically, two is through aerosolly, and also three, as the NASA Future War PDF says, all things will have nano in them. Food, drugs, pharmaceutical medications, water, everything. Okay, including the air. So these are other means of which they can get that biological nano and that smart dust in you? Yeah, probably so, right? Why the food? Because when they spray the air, the biological smart dust lands on the what? The food, yeah? Okay. And then other ones we have seen, they're very, very small. They're smaller than a speck they're smaller than, well, I don't know if you can see this, but I have something on my hand here. Let's see, on my finger. Can you see that? So we're talking about not even a fourth of that. Well, maybe a fourth of that. You can't see it, okay? Because air, you'd see something floating in front of your face, right? Gnat, whatever. It's a fourth of a gnat. You can't even see it. So, they also have been known to put that in food, in liquid products as well, from my research that I've pulled up. So another thing I wanted to talk about is they were talking about how, sorry, the birds are pretty loud right now. They're fighting over one bird's got food. Oh, it's a mama and her babies. Anyway, another thing that they were talking about is how they didn't understand how they could, they were trying to figure out how that he was being seen at nighttime to where they can manipulate the situation on whether or not he's asleep or not, right? Well, in the gang stalking manual, the Stasi manual, it states that they have to be surveilled 24/7 by a Stasi agent. That means on-site visual connection, right? But what if you don't have an agent or a rep to send out, or just by chance? Is there a backup system? So I started thinking about this video that I looked at, which is about facial recognition. It was not a video, it was actually a commercial, and how they were selling this technology to other other countries, and by which they could, if they found a potential terrorist, or if they had a terrorist, they could actually look through the metal of the bus and pull up the person's face, the target, and it throws the target's face and all of its NCIC plus other information to the right in the picture of that person, as they have down below the actual scene of what's going on. So I ask you, do you think that it's only being used for that? Or could they have taken that technology and back engineered that technology to go in and look at inside TI's homes? I believe they have. So these are some things that we might look at. Also, they're saying that they were going over magnets, and there's two camps on it that magnets do work, and then another camp says magnets don't work. Now, I tried the magnets, the opposing magnets. You wrap it up, you get like a roll of quarter size of magnets, and they have to be the size of quarters. You find them at Joann Fabrics. You put them together opposing sides, so you have to use black masking tape to do it, okay? Because they'll fly apart from one another. Now, magnet technology is another technology which is also being used around the 5G to keep the 5G towers safe. Okay, you can see this clearly when you look at the cylinder cell phone towers and you see the sheath around it. Okay, the only one I didn't figure out was the 4-tier towers, where you see the long elongated, looks like one of those space heaters now that are like 3 foot high. Yeah, and you know how they have a triangle at one level, a second triangle, and a third triangle with all these looking like apparatuses on them, hanging off them. So where is the magnet and keeping those waves from being harmful? Okay, I got a beta test coming in right now, so give me one moment. Anyway, so with that being said, you have to look at these different technologies. I do not believe that you have to be surgically in surgery to have an implant planted as the only means in by which they can target the organ of either a U.S. embassy agent out of Cuba or China, as they did them. I do not believe that they have to go through a chipping process. Again, another beta test would be how many of those U.S. embassy agents that were hit with microwave in China and Cuba had actually had surgeries. And if you equivocatively find out that most of them did not, then you have to look at the science of the biological nano. Remember, this technology is based on smart technology, okay? In curing cancer, they instruct the biological nano, the SmartDesk, to go after bad cells. But I ask you, that of which can go after bad cells can also go after what? Now, if they wanted to set up a fake biological weapon, could they do that? Yeah. They instruct the biological nano to go at good cells, create or mimic a bleeding, upper respiratory thing. I'm not saying that this is COVID, no, but I'm saying, could they do it? I would say yes. Because if you can get it to instruct it to go after bad cells, if he gets in the wrong hands, okay, and we have a lot of wrong hands out there doing a lot of stuff with technology, then we know that it can also be instructed to go after good cells. So we know that we have medbed technology coming out under NESARA-GESARA law, under the new financial system, which is also bringing forth medbed technology to cure all diseases, cancers, getting rid of post-traumatic syndrome, as well as taking down the deep state and other wonderful things, giving us financial wealth, eliminating mortgage debt, credit card debt, and IRS taking from our checks. So with that being said, biological nano may be the technology on how we can extract that biological nano. However, when you enter into the fact that some of these people are given lesser sentences for exchange of truth and reconciliation, And you have Robert David Steele saying, if you're in a field writing a note between you and your new cell that you're trying to create to, reformulate on the other side after the Great Awakening, if you do that, we'll know. Of course, satellites, we all know that satellites can pick out a face of a penny on the ground, okay? We also know that as a friend, John of mine, reported, who's high in intelligence, he also stated that there's also technology that can film anywhere in real-time quantum reality, whether or not you are in a secured building or not. Now let's talk about that. When I went over the NASA Future of War PDF and I was doing research, I did 4,000 hours of research. I'm still researching that document. Still things that I've written down that I haven't found yet. So, but in this, my second technology, in doing my research under remote monitoring, which is directed energy weapons attacks onto someone, and the surveillance techniques used for the gang stalking operations, the second technology that I learned about was similar to, if you will, I'm not sure the exact name of it, but biological comms. So if you had a person of interest that was a deep state player and you wanted to get inside to, like, say, the FBI fusion centers, or if you wanted to get inside of who a gang stalker or a Stasi person is hanging out with, and get inside of a safe house of a meeting, all you have to do is instruct the smart dust to swim up to the biological nano, smart dust, to swim up to the ocular part of the eye and actually see and hear through the satellite systems, right? Anything that's going on in that particular moment. So it was stated that a lot of this technology was used as far as they can do it remotely from many miles away. So there you go. That's a way of them listening in and seeing what you see and hearing what you say. Now, Robert David Steele did say that if you get that Truth and Reconciliation offer and after you sign that contract and you breach it, you will be dead within a week, and we'll make it look like an accident. So what would be needed to make that happen? Well, biological nano is conducive. It's a conductor of the ionic plasma beam coming off the towers. So to hit an individual to the organ, they have to instruct that biological nano to go to a specific area of the organ to emit that frequency coming off of the ionic plasma beam off of the tower. Okay? So with that being said, this is, a way in by which I would think they would have to keep the biological aerosol nano system that was sprayed, smart dust, inside the body so that they could use it on the other side of the Great Awakening to take these individuals down, if you will, if they break or breach their contract. Okay? Now, we have secret space program, or not secret space, but the space program has intelligence and intelligence apparatus. It was the most newest branch that was brought into the intelligence apparatus just within the last, 2 years, something like that. And they say it has nothing to do with space. So now when you enter that technology into the picture, oh yeah, we can look through walls. Trust and believe me. and because these technologies are 1,000 years in advance of what we have now. Now, which is very exciting, in by which with Jazar Nasar Law, that's why the release of the MedBed technology, because it was used in the secret space program, and it's going to do remarkable things. There's 3 prototypes. Even one will be able to regrow back limbs. Okay, so we're talking about getting away. This would probably drastically change, if not eliminate altogether, most pharmaceutical companies, which is what activists have been, going after pharma for so long, because a lot of the pharmaceutical medicines, even those for cancer patients, have been known to actually kill the patient. And so with the secret gag order courts out there, we're finding out that that's been all under secrecy and monolithic oaths. Shh, yeah? don't see anything, don't say anything, right? To not get this information out of whom has died from what different medications. And the cancer medications, some of these cancer medications are not the only one. Now, I'm not saying that everyone dies if they take the cancer medication. No, but I am saying, equivocally, without a shadow of a doubt, there's a problem over there. And we have to fix it, right? God, so I'm getting hit right now to the ankle. This is just some of the things that are coming out. We have 6,000 suppressed technologies that are going to be coming out from out of the space program, and it's going to be given to us. Free energy is one of them. That is part of the JSAR and ASAR law. In fact, one of the towers is in Nevada, and I know another one is in Texas. I don't think to provide and it's not like free, like you don't have to pay for it. It just means free by which the patent, you don't have to pay for it to use the patent, something like along those lines. So, yeah, it's very exciting times, but for the TI community, also want to give you an update that in 2020, we discovered a patent that is AI capable, and basically what it does is it reports the exact person who's directing the or deploying the microwave beam to the organ and to the person it is hitting. So, if you guys, if you're a TI, get that information out there, because this will be the information that's pretty good, solid evidence, okay, for your class action lawsuit. So, I can tell you, I'm pretty rest assured that technology is out. So not only is it monitoring the directed energy hits that are going toward targeted individuals, a nervous system and organs and head and so on and so forth, but it is also getting the data on the gang stalkers themselves, also targeted to the brain 24/7 and controlling conscious thought to make sure that they continue to do the deep state bidding, and they remove all feelings of apathy, sympathy, and moral compasses from right or wrong, as far as harming another individual. Thus, also placing themselves in harm's way. I'll give you even at the point of their own survival instincts, such as freedom and or hanging from a rope for crimes against humanity. So, how advanced is this remote covert technology? Remote meaning that they can deploy it with satellite systems, drones, and satellite drones and military bases, these deployments. So, God, I'm losing my train of thought. It's a lot of hits to radiation to the brain in 9 years. God, I lost my train of thought. With that being said, these advancements in technology are moving forward. But when you look at China Lake, there, I got it back on topic. Thank you, Lord. When you go look at China Lake, and we all know it was a mind control center, most QAnons know that, and that these kids were raped by the military rogue industrial complex on a continuum basis. But we also know at China Lake, at this mind control center, that the staff there was also under mind control. So when they went to destroy it, as they're doing a lot of the underground domes, which some of them are 4.2 miles below the surface of the earth, and some are even many levels, so they even go deeper than that. And then others are buried within and tucked away inside mountains. Okay, so with that being said, we told them we were going to implode the building, that it was an evil place, we were going to get rid of it and dismantle it. And so with that being said, we asked all 16,000 of these soldiers to please lay down their guns, and we'll talk business later. But just right now, their main concern, the White Hats military, was just lay your guns down and just come forward. We're going to implode the building. Out of 16,000 that were under mind control, not one was able to come forward. So the more you know. On some of the things that was on my mind. Just wanted to get some of these things out there about looking at certain data and whatnot, and considering other applications that may be used and that are being used right now to help us with our class action lawsuits. As far as whether, because here's the interesting story on this. If the gang stalkers, the Stasi, which is what we call it, their operations manual is the gang stalking manual, PDF. It's in a PDF format. You can go to Targeted Justice and see a lot of these patents that I'm talking about right now. So, including the gang stalking manual is there as well in its entirety. And you could also look up the gang stalker manual as explained to you by a professor who's also a targeted individual, which is Eric Karlstrom. S-T-R-O-M, Karlstrom with a K. So these are just things, food for thought, little information out there wanted to share with you today. And peace out, much love. Love my digital soldiers, my anons. Keep doing what you're doing. You rock. Take care of you and have a good day. Bye-bye.